I've seen the movie Star Wars Force Awakens 3 times now, and I guess now I'm ready to give my opinion of it, uh, my little review of it. Um, Basically, I thought the movie was okay. It wasn't the best Star Wars movie I've ever seen, and it wasn't the worst Star Wars movie I've seen. Um, but I did enjoy it. I thought it was a good movie, and I would recommend it to anyone to go and see it. Um, But just to look at the movie itself, there are 4 different things or aspects of it I wanted to look at or talk about. And the first being the story or the plot of the movie. And just like I said in my Star Wars rant I made about a couple months ago, that I basically was viewing this as a Star Wars fan film. That played out exactly because the very first sentence of the opening crawl, where they say that Luke Skywalker is missing and everyone's looking for him, I just immediately thought of a fan film um, that was about the same exact thing. Luke Skywalker missing and everybody wanting to go find him. So, and that's not the only fan film that's about that, or piece of Star Wars fiction that's about that. It's just an idea that's been played over and over again. Um, Yeah, I guess you could say it'd be hard to find something new, but I think that they could have. Um, and That's the other thing. Um, Much of this movie seemed to be just like Episode 4, A New Hope. I mean, right down to, the Empire using a bigger version of the Death Star with Starkiller Base. I just found that to be incredibly ridiculous. I mean, what is the Empire's problem? That they can't think of anything except a bigger and bigger base that can destroy planets. It doesn't make sense. And then there are other parts of the movie where there are scenes and lines that are just straight takeaways from Episode 4. Not just referencing it, but just straight takeaways from Episode 4. So that's one thing I have against the movie, that they didn't do very much to add to the Star Wars lore, or any add much new to the Star Wars universe. They just basically replayed the same thing over and over, or replayed the same thing again. And then the second thing that I um, found lacking in the movie was the music. Um, just because if you played the themes of any of the other 6 Star Wars films, you'd immediately know, oh, hey, you know, that's A New Hope, that's Empire Strikes Back, that's A Phantom Menace. You recognize the theme. Um, but with this, I couldn't even tell you what the theme music was for this film. Um, and really, you can play parts of it, especially the original trilogy. Um, Play pieces of music and you immediately know, okay, that's the Binary Sunset, or just you would immediately know what part of the movie they were from. With this, the only parts of the music that were recognizable was when they did reprisals um, of pieces of music from the other films. Other than that, the music just kind of, I don't know, I just found it lacking. Then the third thing I want to talk about are the characters. The one character that I liked a whole lot, I loved his character, was Finn. I found him fun, entertaining. I found him to be kind of a real character. Um, I enjoyed watching him on screen. Um, and I am kind of worried about what they're going to do with him in the next movie, just because there were things that were said in The Force Awakens that really didn't get played out. So either they'll just drop them, or they'll come into play in the next movie, and that kind of has me worried for his character. Um, the other character I really want to talk about is Han Solo. The first time I watched it, as soon as he came on the screen, I was like, "Oh, cool! Look, there's Han Solo. He's back." And it didn't occur to me until the second time I watched it. It was like, "Oh, that's Harrison Ford. It's not Han Solo. Isn't real." Um, Yeah, that was kind of a funny thing. Harrison Ford did an excellent job as Han Solo. Not to take away anything from Carrie Fisher or Mark Hamill. I love both Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill. Um, uh, Carrie Fisher, I think she did a good job redoing the role of Princess Leia. I wouldn't have wanted to see anybody else do it. And Mark Hamill, uh, he did great for the minute and a half it was in the movie. Um, and I'm sure he'll do great in the next movie. As far as any other characters, Poe I did like a lot. It took me a little while to get into his character, probably right when he runs into Finn. Um, uh, that's when I really started to like his character. And Ray, um, I liked her character. She was okay. But um, yeah, I don't know. I liked her character. She was okay. Uh, Now, the fourth thing I want to look at are a couple oddities that I found very distracting in the movie. One being, um, what need was there for the Republic, the Resistance, and the First Order? Because if the Republic was the governing government in the system or the universe, and then the First Order comes up, they would be the Resistance. They're resisting against the Republic. So why would Princess Leia have to form a resistance to the resistance? Just that whole dynamic just didn't make any sense. Princess Leia would have worked underneath the Republic as maybe a different division put together to fight the First Order, but she wouldn't have formed a resistance to the resistance. It doesn't, I don't know, to me, this didn't make sense. And then the other thing was Starkiller Base. Now, I will say I'm no physicist. I'm no Neil deGrasse Tyson, but having Star having Starkiller Base powered by a sun, the way they did it made absolutely no sense to me. Uh, I mean, if you're going to draw a whole entire sun into a planet, wouldn't that change the gravity on the planet? Uh, wouldn't the temperature on the planet rise just a little bit? I mean, here they sucked in a whole sun, and yet the planet remained a icy, snowy world. That makes no sense. It makes no sense that this planet was sucking the sun. I don't care. It would have affected it in some way, and not just powered battles, powered the Star Killer base. I don't know. It didn't work for me. Um, um, I did forget something. I'm adding this later, after I had edited the video that I made. There was one other thing that I didn't talk about. Um, that kind of I didn't quite understand. Maybe somebody can explain it for me. But I didn't understand why Han and Leia would name their son Ben. Leia never knew Obi-Wan Kenobi as Ben. She only knew him as Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Han barely knew him as Ben. The only person who truly knew him as Ben was Luke Skywalker. Han basically called him old man the whole time that he was with him. So Han and Leia would have only thought of him as Obi-Wan Kenobi. So why would they name their son Ben? In the expanded universe, it was Luke who named his son Ben, not Han. It would have made more sense for them to name their son Anakin, as they did in the expanded universe. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just nitpicking uh, or whatever. But that was just one of the questions I had about the movie as to why Han and Leia would name their son Ben. Because if they were to name him after Obi-Wan Kenobi, the only name they really knew him by was Obi-Wan Kenobi. The only person who had any real experience of dealing with him as Ben was Luke. And I don't know, maybe they had Luke name him. I don't know. Maybe that's something that'll be explained. Probably not. But yeah, I just wanted to add that one little thing in. See ya. But other than that, I will say I enjoyed the film quite a bit. I may go see it a couple more times in theater. Uh, I do look forward to the next two movies. The standalone is coming out in December of now this year, 2016, and then episode 8, which will come out, I think, in May of the next year. Um, but yeah, tell me what you think of the movie, anything you saw. Um, and yeah, I'd be interested to know. Thank you. J Deal, love, and peace.